From a city that has hosted 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Play action. It's Hill. They'll roll him out right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Hill. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive, he burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Burrow. And a diving effort, but only right at the line of scrimmage. Here we go. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Now it's Burrow. He'll get this out to his running back, Pirine. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll run it here with Pirine. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, here's Pirine. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they just...
Touchdown! Samaje Pirine from 10 yards out. And the Bengals respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The Saints in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd and 9, Hill. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
These two teams all tied after one. Hill on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Touchdown, Saints. Chris Olave. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints have moved out in front. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7 as they come up 1st and 10. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Cameron Jordan, truly the heart and soul of this Saints defense, had another memorable year in 2021. He crossed 100 sacks and made his 5th straight Pro Bowl.
After the sack on first down, Burrow. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. This is caught. It's Brown.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
So the new weapon just picked up via the trade, making an impact here right away.
And what you like about getting guys who catch passes, you don't have to spend a lot of time in the playbook. You just tell them to dial up a route and get the ball in their hands.
He finds P-Ride out of the backfield. Touchdown, Bengals. Samaje P-Ride with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Bengals are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? Forget about the guys in the backfield. They're eligible, too.
And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 31, Hill
throwing out right here, caught by Olave.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Now Hill. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First grab for Thomas. It's good for a 1st down as well. Kamara up the middle.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Kamara gets it again on second down. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hill on 3rd down. Short little throw to Ebron. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. 2nd and 10 now, Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Burrow on play action. He's going deep for Brown. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now Hill looking to throw on first. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
He went with a dime look on defense. Two extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. From his end zone, Wilson. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
P-Ryan, draw play, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On the draw, P-Ryan, and he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Hill.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Hill now to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Lutz is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
From his end zone, Wilson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run again with Pirine. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Marcus May with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you could lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. And they'll accept that penalty. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. He's going deep for Brown. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a carry for Pirine, and he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 17, Burrow setting up the screen to Pirine. Touchdown! Samaje Pirine from 17 yards out. And the Bengals have cut it back within a score. Here we go. And Burrow's going to look to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Hill. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Burrow will throw, eluding the pressure right. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So pass interference, the call there, always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Burrow looking to pass. He'll drop it off to Pirine, complete. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him.
Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I'll guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Alvin Kamara, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
What's good on the extra point? And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
From his end zone, Wilson. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Here's 2nd and 10.
Now it's Burrow. Flush to his right.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hill with a give to Kamara on the option. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Hill. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Hill sliding out of the... And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Mike Hilton, always dangerous on the corner blitz, and he gets the sack. The kick by Lutz is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. From his end zone, Wilson. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Marcus May with a pick. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Olave over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On 2nd down, Kamara. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Back to throw, Hill. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. And this one, a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
From his end zone, Wilson. And he returns this to the 22. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now Burrow. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. A good pickup there of 22.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He finds his target, Ebron. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Hill now operating from the red zone. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Big Ndamukong Suh, one of the league's